Welcome to Super Happy Dragon Lucky. The show will begin momentarily.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 6F of Super Happy Dragon Lucky, the Dragonchain and Den.Social update show. This is the 112th episode. This week on Number Go Up, the number of app stores holding Den.Social app now is 2. So we have the Apple App Store finally released it. So it's there. Go out and get it. It's already in the Android App Store. The links are in the description. Oh, look, 5.0. I don't want to. That's not Number Go Up yet. That's going to make it hard for Number Go Up because it's already up. But either way, so it's in both app stores. Already live in Google Play Store as well. And we have a couple of updates coming to it as well with a new voting widget and things like that. So it'll be a very nice thing to see, to get feedback on everyone using the app. We're hoping that once everyone is using the app, a lot of features can also be rolled out with notifications that are a little better than what we can do on web and things like that. So go check that out. Let's see here. The next thing that we want to do is demo the new voting widget, so you can see how it works. So here's a post that I've not voted on yet because, as you all know, what came with the voting widget was the hour vote window, which I guess probably be good to describe here as well. That this post is 6 hours old, right? So I just woke up today. I just saw it. Maybe this person is in Europe or something. They posted earlier. So as soon as I see it, I say, oh, this is actually this is funny, right? This is a good meme, all right? But it's in the cryptocurrency layer. I have to think about it in terms of what community I'm in and whether this is a good post, whether other people will think it's a good post in this community. So I definitely voted up, right? It's definitely good, right? But how good is it, right? I've had an account on Den for a long time now, and so I have 54,000 energy or matter. And so I can basically, give this post a good, or, and this is a reasonable amount, giving it 1,000, and, I can tag it and things. Now I just placed that vote, the initial vote, my first vote 22 seconds ago. So I have an hour to change it. And basically what this describes is, this is my general vote for consensus that I think this is a good post. This is my bet in the prediction market as to whether this post is actually good for this community. And by placing this vote in the prediction market, this bet of 987 energy, the earlier I do it, the more reward I will get for if the rest of the community agrees with my direction with my upvote. If, however, within that hour, I can flip it down. I can change the amount, right, to a lot or to a little, and it's only counted once, right? So whatever your last vote is when it gets locked at that hour, that is your vote, right? That is what is accounted for in the prediction market, in the content evaluation market that is this on this piece of content. So anyway, that's the new voting widget. It hopefully kind of clears up some things for some people, and it's definitely a better interface than clicking plus 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 that all of these things, and at least you can say, okay, this is a good vote. Maybe this person put some good content, so I'll upvote it a little more because others might agree. And you will see rewards for voting early and for putting a lot of energy into a vote that turns out to be this is great content by the rest of the community. So that is the demo. Next up, we have the September 2021 LCP, the layer creation process, has concluded. So if you go to Den.Social/LCP, you will see the results. The two winners are tabletop role-playing games. That won based upon lore and Den's cybersecurity awareness and trends source based on unique voters. So it was two separate layers, which is awesome. And let's see here, one way or another, every lore committed. So everyone who put every single lore that went in will become a lot. So those lore, if you don't know, the layer ownership rights tokens that were placed in to these proposals in this LCP will be locked into the lot NFT contract, and those lot NFT, the layer ownership tokens, represent ownership in that layer, which gets you perpetual passive income from you get a portion of all matter mined in that entire layer. You get free edits in the layer, and you get future governance votes in the layer. That it's it's a community voting mechanism, so that you can help manage the layer. You can even in the end, the goal is to make it so that the people who have a lot in a particular layer can weigh in on even things as simple as changing the the banner and the theming, the branding of the layer. But you'll also be able to set security, like say reputation settings and things like that in the layer. So they'll be pretty powerful, and a lot of neat stuff coming with that, hopefully pretty soon. Let's see here. Give us about 1 week to create the lot for these two. We usually make sure everything is in place, and there's some admin on the background just to get everything kind of initiated. But after that, it'll be released, and then you'll see them. If you voted on either of those two proposals, you will see your user ID or your avatar in the top of the layer itself. So there we go. So that's all the Den updates. Next, we have Dragonchain updates, and we just put out a new blog on securing the nation's software supply chain. In August, the president met with industry leaders to discuss supply chain security. The focus was on securing firmware and software, which is a welcome and interesting change. They included open source in the list, which is great and very smart. NIST is heading up an initiative to provide a framework for businesses to secure their supply chains. And there are industry giants that were called out, that were involved. Hopefully they'll be innovative. If these companies who already run our infrastructures are unable to secure them now, how will a framework built by them be effective? So we're hoping that they, listen to some of the smaller and newer technologies out there. in particular blockchain. We've had this plan since way back in Disney. We've put it in place. We designed it in full, and we built out parts of it that would allow you to use some of the currently known best practices, but to really improve them by decentralizing the proof of the software assets that are going out, whether it's a firmware for a consumer electronics device, an IoT sensor, or something else in your home, or whether it's files that are loaded into an app on your phone, or for that matter, anything at all, including server software. But there are some really important things that are not being addressed currently and haven't been addressed for a long time related to security, especially with IoT devices. But there have been even known attacks on open source software and proprietary software, some of which we probably don't know about. And we at least have some solutions and a framework or a model that can help. So if you can, please share that blog. It is a very important bit of information. I know a lot of you already have, but keep it up. Next, we also had a blog on enterprise resource planning, basically ERP models and how blockchain can be used to replace some parts of what might be needed in the ERP system, and also to augment that you can definitely interchain or use our interoperability tech to improve or to make an ERP system manageable. So there's a lot there as well. Please share that. Check them both out. And that's all for the Dragonchain updates. Now we go to World Blockchain Roundtable. So we have coming up episode 18 this next Thursday. It is the general topic is NFT utility. So please go leave a topic or a question on the weekly post. The link will be in the description to that. If you can't, if you're just watching this somewhere that doesn't have a link, go to Den.Social, click on the layers, go down to the World Blockchain Roundtable layer, and go in there and look at what questions are already in there. Ask any that should be asked that are missing in the NFT space, and do vote up other people's questions that are important or good questions that you'd like to hear answered. So we'll have a group of guests next week about that, or this week, and it will be it'll probably be a pretty good show. Next, so that's it. So now we have the AMA, and we just started this last week. We're going to start doing the top 3 questions, and let me switch over so I can just go to it. Oh boy, it was playing the video for me. We need to make it so it doesn't autoplay, don't we? Anyway, okay. So first question, and we're only going to do 3, right? So make sure we got it. Okay. All right. From Vangs, if I understand correctly, Dragonchain scales horizontally with every L1 being its own blockchain. Could you please correct me if my numbers are wrong? But with an average of 2893 TPS, 250 million. Divided by 86,000 seconds a day, could we achieve 400,000 TPS like Solana? Could not handle them with 173 L1s. Okay, so 2 questions. I don't know if that's allowed. But effectively, yes. I mean, theoretically, it is very parallel. You could totally parallelize it. I mean, the system itself is meant to be, of course, run on multiple how do I say this? In multiple clouds, and anything you can do. This is the whole architecture of it, and this goes down all the way to the architecture that anything you can do with a centralized system. So if you're thinking about where I grew up with in my career with telco systems, or if you're talking about high volume financial systems, that they're very optimized with things that we've learned over the years in building systems. And you might have 5 or 6 separate nodes running various things inside of your enterprise, and every one of those nodes can do a certain volume depending upon what you're doing. If you're running smart contracts on every single transaction, then you're going to be able to do fewer transactions per second. Obviously, if they're all ledgered, you're going to be able to do more. And yet, because we are not and it's funny because people consider it a decentralized mechanism because you have worldwide consensus, but you can look at it as a centralized chain, which it's weird. I mean, all of the nodes are decentralized, but the consensus itself is centralized. And what we do is we say that every business, every concern, every startup, every enterprise can have not one, but multiple of their own chains, which all interact with each other if they like, and definitely with DragonNet to gain consensus. So our hybrid mechanism, in my opinion, results in a more decentralized network because every node has its own data, and the only thing they're sharing is the proof. So, which is what matters. And it depends. Like, say, you wouldn't maybe use that for an escrow, but that's why we interchain with Ethereum and with other chains. So, yes, it could do radically more than what you're describing, and I'm confident that it would be able to handle it. From what we looked at on capacity at the time, that we had very, very low capacity, or how do I say, very, very, very low percentage of our total capacity on the network was used when we ran the 250 million transactions through. So, it should be able to do a lot more. Don't go and try to make hay with Solana or anything, because we don't need enemies, and I don't want to really attack anyone. And I have no idea, if the 400,000 were processed and then they failed, or did it see 400,000 transactions come across that killed it before it got to process them? I have no idea. But either way, I'm confident we can handle it. And okay, I will answer this. Is DC up to make another show demo handling this 400,000 TPS? No. Just to show business we have the best scaling solution with increased value of quantum security. I don't know. I mean, it costs money to do anything, and we are actually spending time building things. And we've already demonstrated something over a year ago, I think. So I don't anticipate that. I'd rather build real systems that hopefully get up to that number soon. Okay, next. That was a long answer, right? Robin Clace. Let's see here. As we saw the problems at Solana at 400,000 TPS, can DC do this? How did these two get up at the top, huh? Last year, the test did 15,000 transactions per second and 250 million in a day. I already answered that. I don't know if that gets credit or not. Mike Lee, any news on a Coinbase listing? No. I'll answer one more because I don't know if we credited that one. Jegs, can I implement MiFi into my business? Yes. And it's still very early days. We have still a couple of groups building things out, and we have MiFi building out some new API for the KYC system. And so it'll get, I don't know the date, but it should be pretty soon that we have that rolled out. And what we want to get with that you would need is an SDK or a couple of SDKs, hopefully one for hopefully web, and hopefully one for at least some form of mobile. And then, of course, the RESTful API. And we have at least one change that I know of that needs to happen. So it's very close. And we don't know, but we hope that a factor app will come out of that as well to help manage the identity factors. And also because we have plans, I have plans to take that factor app and add very interesting new ways to have verifications that are not coming from very large entities that you would typically get a KYC from. So what we hope to do is handle the KYC side, where you would have very powerful and recognized traditional identity that a bank would use, all the way down to something that would be more of a decentralized identity verification network. And I've usually said it was a marketplace of identity, where there's an actual measure to what is used when someone just says, "Hey, I'm a person. I'm not a bot. This is really me." So anyway, that is 3 or 4 or 5 even questions. So that's the end of the AMA. Let's see here. Let me get back to my notes. So make sure you watch World Blockchain Roundtable this Thursday. Okay. And go in and ask some questions. Make sure we have enough questions in there. Watch Super Happy Dragon Lucky again next Tuesday. And do ask some questions as well there. And try not to get 2 of them that are the same question right next to each other. Maybe I should have looked at that. I would have voted them up. Oh, and by the way, I meant to vote those up when I went through them, but I'll just do it after. Also follow Dragonchain Gang, Real Denizens, and me, Jojo Rowe, and then like, comment, subscribe, and share this episode as much as you can. And that's it. Thank you very much.
Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best.
Adaptable, all capital, label radical yet rational. Adaptable approach is palpable if this animal is fallible. But that conclusion is laughable, so with for all detachable from the mandible, you see it now.